who's ready for some yeast-risen cinnamon rolls. I'm Liz from InspectorGorgeous.com, and I'm here to help you make these easy yeast cinnamon rolls without feeling like you're wasting ingredients or feeling like I don't know what I'm doing and it's a sticky mess, and all of the comments that I've seen on the blog. So I'm gonna take you step by step. It's kind of a long video because I talk too much, but let's get started. So I've got everything already portioned out. So we've got our almond flour. This is 2 cups, which seems like a lot, which is why I really wanted to make sure that I share this recipe to you guys, because I've had so many comments about just having trouble getting the dough to roll and feeling like you're wasting ingredients. And I don't want you to waste ingredients. I'm supposed to waste ingredients, but I figured out the recipe so you don't have to. So we've got our almond flour. In this bowl, we have the rest of the dry ingredients. So the baking powder, the xanthan gum, and we're gonna whisk this all together. There's like a little bit of salt in there. And then there's 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. All right, so let's set this aside here. And we've got eggs. I've got melted cooled butter. I need to get my yeast going. So I have a little cup of water. Let me get my scissors. So the water's like not hot, okay? It can't be hot, but it needs to be warm. You don't want it too hot. So I added these, so let's whisk up the rest of the ingredients. Okay. We've got eggs. So 1, 2, and guess what? I forgot to get out my other egg. Okay, and then we need an egg white. So much better. Okay, so now we're adding the 2 level tablespoons of Greek yogurt. I'm such a messy cook, you guys. I always need to have my towel, like I have a million towels. I don't use paper towel. I don't know if you guys use paper towel, but I try not to. I feel like it's not that great for the environment. So I have just like a bunch of kitchen towels. So we're beating this up. If you have a stand mixer, you can put this in a stand mixer. If you have a hand blender, you can use like a hand blender, but not everybody has those things, so I want to show you that you can do it this way too. Maybe it's not arm workout. You think I have better arms, but I don't. I'm a whisk. Okay, this is a little bit cooler than I would want it to be because I just added that extra egg white, vanilla, boop. Like, you don't have to like measure that much. That's not going to ruin your cinnamon rolls if you don't measure that perfectly. All right, butter. Yes, it's not hot. You don't want to scramble your egg. So you want to melt your butter early on in this recipe and let it kind of like cool off a little bit. Okay, let's add the yeast. It's getting fuzzy. It's been a few. I think it's ready to go. So, as I stare at it for 5 minutes. All right, so this is pretty wet. This is ready to go. All right, so we're gonna take our bowl of our dry. So we've got our sugar, 1/3 cup of swerve. Give that a whiskey around in there. I just forgot to put it in. It's no big deal. Sometimes we get like really caught up in the method of like order of ingredients, but for gluten-free baking, especially when it's keto, it just doesn't work like flour. So sometimes it doesn't matter. I shouldn't say that, but I'm gonna pour like half of this in to start. We're going. And I'm just gonna kind of stir it in. Right on my new Christmas sweater. I am going to bake cookies with my mom today, so that's why I'm wearing a Christmas sweater. My mom is super excited about Christmas cookies, and that I'm gonna take these gluten-free cinnamon rolls to my dad because he is type 2 diabetic and he follows a keto diet, which he's actually been able to almost completely get off all of his medication and regulate his blood sugar, all by eating low carb. And I keep him in the treats. Like every single thing that I make, I give to my dad because I honestly can't eat it all. It's just, I would die. Too much almond flour, I would turn into an almond, maybe. Definitely be bloated. See, we're just like mixing it. You want everything to get really absorbed. Gotta get that. It takes a minute. Like it takes a minute for the xanthan gum to get absorbed. Now people look at this and they're like, this looks like oatmeal-y or like weirdly wet, but I want you to see that it's not really, as long as you have kind of like follow these directions and kind of like mix it like this. So I'm gonna show you. So it's gooey. Okay, so now we need some plastic wrap. Parchment does not work with this. Evan's ready. Parchment does not work. It's too flat. It will stick. Okay. We've got our cling wrap here. Hopefully you can see this. Roll these sleeves up and get ready. All right. Can put a scoop of dough on there. Put another little scoop of dough. What I want to say about getting this dough right, if it seems too wet, it's really hard to add extra almond flour and to make things like this work better because almond flour doesn't absorb any moisture, but it adds volume. So a sprinkle of coconut flour on top before you start a rolling is helpful if you need to. The thing about this dough too, I keep saying that the thing about this dough, let's just agree that there's a lot of things about this dough, but it's gotta be wet or else it's not gonna like puff up and rise. It's just gonna be like super dense and gross on the inside. And that's what I have figured out is that like if the dough is too dry, it's not gonna work. All right, so let's just press this. This is all you do. And then you pull it, see? Okay. We're pressing into a rectangle. Speed this up so I'm not just talking to you for a million hours. Let's take my alkaline water bottle. I don't have my rolling pin anymore. My mom has it. She's been using it. I use an alkaline water bottle now. This is my life. And depending on how thick you want them, I like my cinnamon rolls a little bit thicker, but this is how you roll it out. Then, take my butter and have all of my stuff next to me. Get your little knife if you want to like really make them perfect. Peel this away. Just peels. Okay. Save that. And you can like totally like smooth it out if you need to. Like cut little bits of it. I'm just gonna press the rest of this out. Press the rest of this dough in here. So now I have a rectangle. And this is what like makes me sad is like people have this issue with the dough like sticking to this. Like this isn't sticking for me at all. Totally stickless. Okay. So, and we need our cinnamon sugar. And you can brush a little butter. I also like to spray this sometimes with like a little bit of cooking spray to make it nice and kind of caramelization. This is where I'm making a mess. It's fine. Like this. Okay. Cinnamon. Woo. That's a lot of cinnamon, but you know what? going for it. This is how we roll this dough. Okay, you're going to start at the end to roll it and like press, okay? So roll and press it. Pressing it. So but the big key is just try to get your dough into this roll. If you can get this part going, you're golden. Now we're just gonna roll it and like push down. See, I've got like tension with my thumbs pushing down as I roll and squeezing because we wanna like pack all that sugar in as well on the ends too. And like, here we go. Roll it. Use your muscles and like really roll it. See? And it pulls away. And then I'm going to press it together. Press the seam. I'm pressing the seam in so that it doesn't like fall apart. Okay? Okay, so we've got our roll log here. And we're gonna cut it. This is the hardest part, I think, of the whole recipe. Is trying to get it cut into the number of pieces that fit in there. So we're gonna shoot for like 8 or 9, but 12 would be cool too. If we cut like these tiny ends off and put them in the center. See how sticky this is? That's why you need a little bit of water, and you can put a little bit of water on your fingers. Xanthan Gum makes it really sticky. So I'm gonna cut this little end off too. I like to start with the ends, placing the ends. It's just me. You do whatever. Put that in there. Cute. All right, let's get down to business. Let's speed this up here. You don't want to cut your rolls too thick because the thicker the rolls, like the weirder they rise. So like, I like to go about a little bit past the tip, like my first knuckle of my finger. That is not an accurate unit of measure. And I also, a little bit of my sugar sometimes falls out, so I keep it on the knife. Keep it, slice, and just pull it apart. Whoop. Cinnamon roll. And it doesn't have to be perfect in there, like I said. Rise for 30 minutes and then we're gonna bake them. They're done. So, now it's time to frost these bad boys. If you can see, whoo, that's hot. Look at them. They're nice and fluffy and puffy. I like a shorter roll because I feel like a shorter roll like bakes better and you get more servings and it's just, I don't know, I like it better. So now we're just going to frost. Let's just grab one. Ooh, they are hot. Show you the inside. And we've got a cinnamon roll. Oh, there you have it. We have our cinnamon rolls and they look so good. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope this helps you make these easy yeast cinnamon rolls.